Good afternoon, everybody. How has your Wednesday been? I hope you've had a fantastic one. My name is Lisa Keegan, and look, today we're going to make some seeded crackers. I'm running really late though. Normally I'm online at 4, it's 5. Oh well, better late than never. Now, I've not made this recipe before. I found it on Cookidoo and thought, you know what, let's do it. So, and I love the fact that 8.5 years on owning a Thermomix and 2 years doing these lives Monday to Friday every afternoon. Never done it. How cool is that? That's the beautiful thing about cookidoo.com.au is that you continually are finding new things. Have you seen the new pizza collection that's come up today for the Ovana launch? So the Ovana has gone live today. So excited to see them coming to some of your homes. We're actually having pizza for dinner tonight because it is pizza day. So why not? Good excuse to kind of have that for dinner. But let's get cracking on these crackers. All right. What's that say? Yes, I want to quit the old one. All right, preheat oven. Now you'll notice it's in Fahrenheit. That's in Fahrenheit because this is a US recipe. So when you do have these recipes that are from, the US, you'll notice they're in Fahrenheit, then they're in ounces as well. Ounces is easier to deal with on the Thermomix because it converts it. It's a bit trickier when you're shopping for it, but I'll give you some tips in a minute. Do say hi if you're watching on today as well. So, first thing it says is some buckwheat. Now, buckwheat is something that, it's an interesting thing actually. It's not a wheat product. It makes beautiful breads. So I will often make the buckwheat gluten-free bread. And it's just, it's got a unique earthy smell to it is how I would best describe it. Now, 2.5 ounces is actually, excuse the hands in here. Hello, Suzanne, how are you? We want 2.5 ounces into that Thermomix, which if you're going, oh, how do I shop for that? Actually multiply it by 3 and add a 0. So it's asking for 2.5 ounces. That's going to be about 75 grams. Okay, so there it makes it really easy to shop when you know what you're doing with that. All right, next up, let's go. I do have some ingredients missing. I'm going to show you today how to kind of do that replacement as well. All right, next up is some sunflower seeds. I've got them here. I'm actually going to put extras of these in because, well, maybe I'm not. No, I'm not. I was going to say if there's more in here, I'm going to use them later. This was leftovers from something I did last week and I just didn't put it back in its container. I'm falling short on that, but I'll top up the pepitas to make up for it. So let's put some pepitas in. Or have I got them the wrong way around, guys? Are the green ones the pepitas or are the green ones sunflower seeds? Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're both going in. I should have that worked out by now. I think I've been confused for the entire time I've been doing these lives as to which is which. All right, next up, go next. Okay, flax seeds. I do have flax seeds. These are great egg replacers, flax and chia, both of which that feature in this recipe. If you're ever without, you can always use 1 tablespoon of the flax or the chia and 2 tablespoons of water. Think of it like an egg. You've got 1 portion of yolk and 2 portions of white in there. So 1 of solid and 2 of water. That'll get you an egg for your baking. So 1.5 ounces of flax, in that goes. Flax can also come in different colors. So, it's not wrong to have a flax that's a different color, but they're a bit like chia, they get stuck in your teeth. Now, this is where I don't have things. I do not have hemp seeds. So I'm just going to increase this and put some more of this in, okay, and hope that it works. So I'm just making up the quantity. So instead of 7 seeds, I guess I've gone down to 6 seeds now. Oh well. Sesame seeds. I also don't have sesame seeds. So another one that I'm going to just bump up, and I'll actually bump up with the green seeds, okay? What am I down to 5 seeds now? Oh well. I'm sure it'll work out beautifully. Chia seeds. It's waiting for these. These are a binder like the flax. So the flax and the chia will be what pulls this together and sticks it together for us. This is a really interesting recipe. It actually has a soak time and then you pour it out. I'm hoping we can speed up that soak time. Okay, here's our flavoring, rosemary or thyme. I've got thyme and it says 1 tablespoon. So a little tip there on the screen is that tablespoon has the B second. If you're worried, if you have trouble reading tablespoons to teaspoons, always look at the second letter. Ignore the T, ignore the end, and just look at the second letter. TB, B for big, TS, S for small. Okay, if that helps you, well and good. Say hi if you're watching on today as well. Do you know what you're having for dinner? Is anybody else doing pizzas for pizza day? Let me know. Psyllium Husk. This is another binder. Okay, so it helps stick things together. Those of you who do gluten-free cooking, this would be familiar to you. It's 1 tablespoon. So I'll put that in. I'm just guesstimating as I do. 1 tablespoon. There's some beautiful gluten-free bread rolls called, I forgot the name. They're from the Cooking for You and Me cookbook. So if you look for that on Cookidoo, and they're really brown in color. They've got almonds as the base. Grain-free, gluten-free bread rolls, that's what they're called. It has psyllium in it. So once you've got psyllium in the cupboard, there's so many things you can make as well. So, hello Grace, lovely to have you on this afternoon. Hey Yvonne, pizza for you for tea as well. That sounds amazing. 1 teaspoon of salt. Have I got the salt out? No, I don't. Must be over there with the pizza dough. So I'm going to use, don't know how this is going to go. I've got a beautiful smoked gum salt. So goodness knows what that'll taste like in here. I'd love to know in the chat who makes their own crackers. Is that something you're confident with, or are you still buying crackers? It's something that once you do, you'll usually continue to do. I absolutely love it. It's kind of that achievement of, wow, I did this. So it is worth doing. Okay, some water. Now I've been doing cheeses lately, so I have a lot of whey, and this is actually some halloumi, and it didn't fit in my jar. So it's just in here. It's a little, the little leftover bits. So I'm going to see if I can use just the whey out of that. It could actually be a little bit salty. I'm not going to have enough though. I've just looked at that, 6.5 ounces. That's not going to be enough. Look at that cheese in the bottom of there. Let me just grab some more whey out of the fridge, because I certainly have a ton of whey at the moment. Okay. I have a cheese course that I'm going to be launching in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully end of the month. I currently got recipe testers testing the recipes and the videos to go with. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be $49 if you want to do the cheese course. So 6.5 ounces. I promise the cheese course is not in ounces though. It's all in grams. Really easy. Don't need a TM6. It's for TM31s, TM5s and TM6. And even if you've got a different thermo cooker, you can certainly do it as well. So they're not guided recipes. It's actually skilling you up on cheese making. So non-guided, but all video led. So you can watch the videos and be really confident at learning how to make cheeses. So it's been lots of fun doing that, but keep an eye out for that in the coming weeks. Okay, insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl lid. And then we've got a reverse 10-second speed 3. All right, while that's happening, we do need a tray to put this on. So normally it would soak, and it says let to soak for 5 to 10 minutes. Now, if I wasn't using whey, a little speed up trick you can use is actually to use warm water, because warm water absorbs in significantly faster than cold water. Now, obviously I was using the whey, so it didn't absorb in that fast. I didn't heat it up. You can heat it up though. So when I made the pizza dough earlier, which is sitting on the bench over there, I put in the whey first. I brought that up to 37 degrees. Before then I added the flour and all that into it as well, all your normal pizza ingredients. So you can bring that up. So it starts that, with the pizza dough, you need that to allow the yeast to start multiplying. Let me show you what it looks like in here. I'm going to come around the bench and show you. It looks a bit like a big seedy mess in there. Really? It's all seeds. Look at that. Bird food, just about. But at least we know what's in it. So 5 to 10 minutes to suck in all that liquid. Actually, it's interesting. There's not much watery stuff in the bottom, but I presume, so psyllium is one of those things, and the chia and the flax will be the things that are sucking it all in. By the way, flax seeds at the supermarket is sometimes called linseeds, just in case you weren't sure. Now, I'm thinking a few of you might be wondering, could I just use like an LSA mix? No, because by the looks of this is a chunky mix. This is a very, very seeded mix. I guess a bit like the picture, so I should have expected that really. So after it's been resting, measuring cup on, 10 seconds again, and we'll mix it through. Now that has not been 5 minutes, as you guys would know, but let's just keep on pressing on, because that's what I do. Too impatient for that here. Hey Lynn, lovely to have you on. Okay, so it says to have a tray, by the way, that was on reverse, speed 3. So just mixing that through. There would be no chopping happening in there. So remove the mixture from the mixing bowl, transfer to a piece of parchment approximately 9 inches by 13 inches. Yeah, I don't do inches, so I've just got a tray. And I've got the good old Thermomix liner on it as well. I do love these liners, and I certainly love this one as well. I'm going to use it to press down on top. So spread the mixture over the parchment and top with another piece of parchment paper. Then with a rolling pin, roll the mixture out to approximately an eighth of an inch thick. Transfer to a baking sheet and remove the top piece of parchment. So I'm going to do a little different as I do. So I'm going to try pouring this straight onto my tray, which you guys can see here. You can see that actually all that liquidy stuff has sucked in. It's going to get thicker though, like it will if I'd given it 5 to 10 minutes. I reckon you'd come back and it would be like able to be rolled into balls kind of thing, like you'd expect on something like a bliss ball or something. It smells beautiful. I mean, it only smells of thyme, but it's got that really yummy smell to it. I'm curious to see what these turn out like. The picture reminds me of the fancy ones at the supermarket, so let's see how we go. Anyone know besides, I think somebody said they, hey Denise, are having pizza for dinner. Yvonne said she was having pizza. Anyone else got plans yet for dinner tonight? Do share. And let's spread this out. Now it said to press it down with the top sheet. I reckon because I haven't let it sit too long, I may not need to. Let's see how we go. So I'm just going to spread it all out. It will need to be compacted because otherwise it's just going to be a crumbly mess. But I did notice in the tip, so it says bake for 75 minutes. Now this is where it can get confusing. It says 325 degrees. That's a low oven. That's about 155, 160 degree oven. So it's actually quite a low temperature. That can be confusing. Sometimes you have to Google that to figure out your temperature conversions. It's not like you can just multiply it by 3 and add a 0. You can divide it by half, and that's about approximate of it, okay? So now here we go. Let it cool completely before cutting with a knife or breaking into shards. Oh, there's tips on that recipe. Okay, so I think on Cookidoo it also had some other tips at the bottom. So do check that out if you're going to make it. So I'm having trouble actually pressing this all the way out to the corners. Let's just spin you guys around for a better look over here. There we go. So it's not doing too bad, but I think it could do better. So I'm just going to now do what it says. It says to put baking paper on top. I'm just going to use a thermomat. I'm going to push it down with my rolling pin and spread it out to the sides. Like so. See how far out to the corners I can get. Now, if you want to cut it nicely, and I remember reading this in the tips, which is why I knew that was tips. It said if you want to actually cut it into nice bits without breaking it, to actually remove it halfway through the cooking time, so about the 35-minute mark, score it, and then put it back in the oven. So you're getting those nice cuts in it. So that's why there's tips there in that recipe somewhere. So out to the sides, nice and thin, 1/8 of an inch, which isn't much. And into the oven. Let me show you what this looks like. I'm nearly done. See how it looks under there. Now, little tip as well before we go today. If your top sheet doesn't want to come off, which sometimes it doesn't, if it's a really tacky mix, especially like not so bad today with this, but if I'm doing gluten-free pizza or wraps or something like that, it's really sticky, and you often will make that between 2 sheets of baking paper. The tip is to go cook it with the top layer attached, and then once it's started cooking for 5 to 10 minutes, pull the top layer off, because by then it's set and you can easily remove it. Okay, so there's a tip of the day, is if this won't come off without lifting the food up. I don't know if this is gonna, I don't see, mine's not too bad. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's not much getting left behind. There's little bits, but not much. There's a big chunk here. But cook it with that attached and remove it once it's cooked, or partially, not completely cooked, but partially cooked. That'll allow it just to flake off really, really easily. I think as I let this sit a little bit longer before I put it in the oven, I'm gonna let it sit because obviously it hasn't had the 5 to 10 minute suck-in time. I think I'll find mine will just come off really nicely. It doesn't seem to be having an issue in this recipe, but I like to tell you that because with products that are dynamic, like seeds, they do sometimes have more oil, less oil, more absorbent, less absorbent, things like that. So that's it from me today. Now, before I go though, a couple of things. Thermomix have announced today that gift with purchase has started of a free bread tin and lid and oven mat, no, thermo mat, the big one, the one with pastry circles on. So if you want to get your hands on that, let me know. But amazing, I use them all the time. So even most recently, I was doing the beautiful gourmet crackers, and I put that in my loaf tin to cook before you actually freeze it and slice it. A little bit different on that recipe. And obviously my Thermomat, I've got an old school one over there at the moment, actually wrapping my pizza dough. So mine doesn't have the beautiful pastry circles on it because mine's old. But the beautiful thing is they last. They last as long as you don't cut on them. They just last and last. So they are a gift from Thermomix in Australia with a Thermomix at the moment. We do have trade up offer coming Monday. A lot of you guys have told me you're already keen and interested. Haven't got more information yet for you guys. However, won't be long, I'm sure. We're running out of days, right? So Monday, expect news from me on how you can then go and trade in your TM and get yourself a sparkly TM6. So that's super exciting, and I'm so excited to support you guys with your Thermomix journey with the TM6. I loved my TM31, I loved my TM5, and then I love my TM6. It just keeps stepping it up that little bit more of what else you can really easily do and what else it can do in your kitchen to save you time and energy and money and all that jazz. So yeah, very excited for that offer to come round on Monday. So it runs for 2 weeks. So there's no real immediate haste on it. You do have 2 weeks on that, which is super exciting. So, all right, guys, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday afternoon. I can't wait to come back tomorrow and cook with you tomorrow. Please contact me if I can help you with anything, or a loved one with anything to do with Thermomix. I love hearing from you guys. I love seeing what you're making. Continue to share your food with those around you. Share it on the page. Tell people the secret to your kitchen that's organized and chaos-free and amazing food. Let them know that the Thermomix is the reason why you can do that, because otherwise they don't know. So take care, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.